Let's talk about growth as someone who is interested in the music production space. I don't want to sugarcoat it and say that it is something that is easy or all glamorous all the time. I mean, most of you probably already know that. Hours upon hours sitting inside, your room, learning the skills and developing relationships and trying to network and build what is important to progress you forward. It takes a long time, and there is no easy path. Some people might get more lucky than others. Some people will develop relationships based off of just being in the right place in the right time, and others will spend hours working on those relationships to eventually have a relationship that will take them to a better place. It's not for everyone. You have to be confident in spending time by yourself, alone, learning, the DAWs and synthesis, depending on, what you're interested in, and learning about these EQs. It's stuff that, you could learn in school, but you don't also have to learn in school. I think learning from someone who is more skilled is super useful. Developing kind of a mentor-mentee relationship. Obviously there's plenty of great platforms such as like YouTube and stuff like that will help you grow. And I wanted to make this video to kind of dispel any myths that someone might think about when thinking about this path. There isn't an easy kind of like magic wand solution. I used to think that that next plugin will make me way better, and I'd spend, hundreds of dollars on plugins, trying to just find a new plugin. You watch a YouTube video and, oh wow, that plugin looks like it really works, like what is it, RC20 or Drip, stuff like that. I would come across, and I would think that would, be the magic wand, to project me to the next level. The reality is it doesn't. It's hours and hours of learning the basic plugins and effects that exist within your DAW of choice. That is the only way. Unless you are someone who is magically gifted enough to pick those things up in an instant, that is the only way. To sit there in front of your computer while your friends are out partying, learning how to use the software. It'll be frustrating. You'll want to quit. But if you keep with it, there are good things at the end of the tunnel. But you have to keep with it. And it can be a challenge to keep with it. And people are going to want you to go out and do stuff, and you will you'll be met with a little bit of resistance in that way, but you have to stick with it. Be prepared to essentially put your life on hold to learn your DAW and become an expert in your DAW. That is pretty much the only solution, unless you, I guess, are privileged enough to be able to hang out in a studio with people who are way better and are just good enough at observing and picking those things up. But the reality is you probably won't, because you're going to have to know what it feels like to cut those low frequencies out or adjust the decay rate on a reverb to understand, oh, that's what this does. So you have to put in the work. You're going to play around with a bunch of different DAWs, trying to find one that's going to give you, the magic sauce to make that next hit record, only to find out that none of the DAWs will do that immediately, and all of them require you to spend hours of trying to understand. Now, once you spend enough time in those DAWs, the other DAWs are much easier to understand, and you might find that Logic isn't for you, and instead it's Ableton, or Ableton isn't for you, and instead it's FL Studio. But one way or another, you're going to have to put those hours in. I just wanted to put that out there. The stuff isn't easy, and it's a very saturated market. There's a lot of people who are trying to do the music thing in different forms, but if you stick enough with it, you'll find your space in it. And so I just kind of wanted to put that out there and hope that, if you're someone who maybe is feeling a little down because you don't feel like your career is going anywhere, that honestly, you just need to stick with it. You need to keep making music. You need to keep learning your DAW. Sometimes teaching is the best way to learn. That's why I have this YouTube channel. I love to help other producers learn, and that teaches me kind of how to better understand my own DAW, because I have to research stuff. I don't know all these things right off the bat. I go through and I spend hours on YouTube, even today, working a full-time job that's non-music, spending time with my partner, and also trying to make music and run a small production company called Offbeat. Even with all that, I'm still also trying to make these videos and releasing them on Mondays, and doing all that work. And but I do it because I know that YouTube and trying to help newer producers get better at production is only going to make myself better. And so maybe that's something that you find will help you, will incentivize you. So I guess the point of all of this is to say, don't give up. Keep putting your time and your effort in. Don't feel like you have to have the greatest gadget and tool. You don't need those insanely expensive headphones to learn the basics. You don't need that insanely expensive mic to sound good. Take the things that you have around you and make them work for you. So if you don't get anything else out of my channel but this, you have to put the time in. You have to put the time in to grow. I hope that helps make the path a little bit clearer. It probably won't, but I hope it does. You got to put the time in and keep putting the time in and believing in yourself and believing in your craft and believing in your music. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's something that you have to put the time in. So yeah, yeah.